that Lee Sin is basically like ballet. They just went in and they destroyed all of the lanes. Like, Lee Sin was just everywhere. He went from bot to top. Mid won by itself. Actually, no. Actually, mid lost.
No, well, yeah, mid was losing, and then Lee Sin intervened.
But then Lee Sin came and saved the day. He was a superhero.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Lissandra ban.
The first ban, Lissandra.
Lissandra getting banned because they don't want to mess with that frozen tomb.
Yeah.
Oriana out of the way for the team fight potential. Irelia out of the way because it's Irelia. And please, someone tell me to stop her. Just stop her. Janna on the other side because Janna's a pain in the neck. Zed on the other side because Zed's a pain in the neck. A bunch of these bans are just because they're a pain in the neck.
Exactly.
And
none of those are really targeted.
It's actually really surprising because these aren't, aside from Lissandra and Oriana, these aren't champions that you ban around because you don't actually build team comps too much on them. You know, they're not like as much of playmakers as you would think they would be. You know, kind of Janna, kind of Kassadin, but not really. But these picks are coming out really fast. We have, on the blue team, Evolini's picked up Ahri, Pantheon, and Thresh, and this is actually really popular. They're going for the same strategy again. What does Pantheon do? He ganks so early, and he crushes lanes. And they're really confident that that last game with Thresh was a fluke, and hopefully he doesn't burn Flash early this time. What about the red team, Josh?
Exactly. Well, red team is going again with another aggressive comp with the Graves, Lee Sin, and maybe the Alistar right now. But I was thinking about how Evolini's is going with this team that is really, really, really good at picks. You know, they've got the Ahri with the charm, they've got the jump with the Pantheon.
And look at that, the Annie, 100%. Every time they took Ahri, they said, we're taking Annie. And Annie is a real pain in the neck
She's
for Ahri
blocker
to deal with
because
she has the point-and-click CC. And that point-and-click CC is a nightmare for Ahri.
And we're seeing the Sivir choice coming through again.
They're trying to redo this game. It's like they were like, nah, that wasn't a real game, guys. Let me try again on blue side. And
they're doing the salty run back right now. But
yeah, they'll rumble one more time. They really like that rumble. And I'm actually surprised that We So Good Looking didn't want to take away the rumble from them, because although his performance wasn't exactly stellar in the second game, his first game performance was excellent.
Yeah, and on top of which, it wasn't so much the second game that his performance wasn't stellar. It was that everything else was falling apart.
Yeah, and Travipoo has not actually beaten him, in a sense, when it came to a one-on-one situation. Rumble overly aggressed on that second game, and because he overly aggressed against Lee Sin, he was able to take them down easily.
Unfortunately, we're not seeing so much variation between what the two teams were picking right now. We're seeing a lot of similar picks for the lanes, for the same strategies and the such coming through, but it's
literally the same game.
Yeah, exactly.
With instead of Ezreal, they actually picked up what I would say a more realistic mid laner, someone that can actually do more upfront damage when it matters, and Annie, because it's Annie, and Annie just makes Ahri miserable. And in fact, Annie is going to be a really huge team fight presence as much as Rumble is. So if she can drop the bear that is like a weaker version of the Equalizer, then they're going to have an equalized team fight.
There are going to be some very equal teams going on.
It's going to be everyone's going to be on equal footing.
Okay, so with seeing how their team comps come out, what are you saying that We So Good Looking have to do in order to win this matchup against?
We So Good Looking, I'm very confident.
Okay.
I am very confident that We So Good Looking just has to play the game the same way.
Just one moment, the stream is going to be going down for a second.
All right, we have some technical difficulties. We'll be down for a couple of seconds, boys and girls.
We're going to go down.
All right, we're just going to go down.
We'll be right back. Okay, now that we're online, I will welcome you back because I had not welcomed you back before, apparently. And as we were saying before, the thing that We So Good Looking needs to do is play Evolini's game, and that is to win lane, win the game, and roll. But the same goes for Evolini's. They have to actually play their comp the way that they intended. And if they're going to do that, then they can proceed to actually have perhaps an interesting game, unless it becomes a stomp for the third time. So we see standard starts. Rumble has the cloth armor. He doesn't want to give up first blood to Riven. That's way too much of a snowball for his taste. And we have to hope, or not hope, but at least Evolini's has to hope that they don't give up pressure so early. Human flashing away was such an open invitation. It's like he became a mailman. Like Mailman Thresh happened he took out a letter and he said, "Hey Lee, get over here, come party with us in the bot lane."
Exactly.
But now Evilini's again going with the aggressive plays. They go through the bottom tri-brush. They're trying to see if they can get anything, but that ward actually is going to spot them out, and they're going to sit there unknowingly. However, the Resonating Strike comes out, and they're all going to turn tail. Simplicity tries to destroy that ward, but wards are indestructible.
Okay, not the case.
Did he destroy the ward?
He didn't destroy it, but
did he destroy it?
All right, I'm going to teach you a thing about validity.
Okay. Anyways, they're going around for something else, but again, really well warded jungle from We So Good Looking. They're not letting themselves give up an inch, and it might actually be beneficial for Evilini's to not do this in pain, because if they burn and give away early presence again, Lee Sin is going to be there.
In fact, one of the things to notice about these starting purchases, you notice how Rumble bought the cloth armor. Thresh actually bought a ward this time because he wants to be cognizant of those Lee Sin ganks, of the pressure coming in down bot.
That is a very noticeable change in attitude, and I'm glad you pointed that out. How well the Lee Sin has to have played the champion, how well the Esquire has to have played for them to be conscious of this.
Right.
Anyways, here we go. XKVZ trying to get some farm. However, Dry Tears is saying, "No, I'm going to Q you whenever I get the chance in CS."
The Q from Annie right there did about as much damage as Ari's auto attack. Mm-hmm. So
it's not that big of a deal yet.
No,
anyway, Simplicity getting the advantage in the bottom lane. They're not letting them get level 2 first. So we're going to see what happens if the ganks come first. Lee Sin's actually at red. Is he going to be able to steal it? No, he's being seen because that little mini red buff is spawning him out. However, Evilene should have stopped, and the red buff is taken. Esquire is harassing him, pops the shield. Is he going to be able to do much? Dry Tears with a good roam. Esquire lands the Q, and First Blood is going to go to Esquire. Well done. Dry Tears actually runs into a Fox, and he's going to go Fox hunting. The auto attack leaves her with a sliver of health, and Travipoo is coming in, going to try to do some damage. Some really good early plays coming out from We So Good Looking.
This is so unfortunate that Evil Lumi's team just can't play defensively right now. Everyone on We So Good Looking's team right now is such an aggressor that you need to...
Flash Flay hook into Simplicity. Humandu tries to get a play made. However, Lovely Iris gets exhausted and is not able to do much about that.
Exactly. You see, down there, all they really did was trade Thresh's Flash for Graves' Flash.
And guess what happened?
Nothing. You got a few summoners from bot lane, but in the end, you're trying to aggress on the aggressors.
Oh, and look at Lee Sin. He completely changed his playstyle. Before he was ganking so fast, but now he's making Evilene miserable. And that is how you would normally see the Lee Sin playing that game. Oh, Young Nana trying to clear some of that wave because they're getting harassed very well. At least now that there's no pressure bot, they're getting to do what Human and Iris can do best. But Esquire is here dropping some damage on Cave, and it's not going to be that much, and he's actually going to kind of regret it because that overheated Flame Spitter is going to hurt a little bit. But Pantheon's not having a good time.
That's a good point that you make about Lee Sin going into Pantheon's jungle over and over, is that while Pantheon's having an awful time right now, there's no doubt about that, Sivir and Thresh are able to actually have some control over their bot lane. Yeah. I feel if We So Good Looking forgets what a factor that bot lane's team will be, that they're going to have a bad time.
They might indeed, and right now, Lovely Iris and Thresh are pushing as hard as they can. They want Graves to miss out as much farm as possible, but the heal from Alistar actually preventing them from crashing that into a turret. Graves is going to come back and get most of that. Caveman actually doing pretty decently against this Riven. He has 1 or 4 pots, I can't actually read that, but he has enough pots to survive the lane as much as he can. Dry Tears doesn't get a stun on XKVZ, and it's going to be no gain for now. Esquire just putting down the pressure. It's really impressive to see this Lee Sin level of play, actually.
Right. It's the Lee Sin coming through is making such a big, a different effect on this game than he was last
time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Travipoo's taking so much fire. He actually goes in and manages to get Kaven to run away But I feel if Kaven did not get scared, he might have been able to kill him. And overheated, yes.
Yeah.
You're right. But Aya Squire feeling right at home. He has a level advantage. He has a little bit less CS, but he does have that one kill that he needs. And Pantheon had to go back before he was able to clear his blue. See, Pantheon is not having a good time.
Even worse is that one kill that he has was the first blood.
Yeah, so that 400 gold that's coming towards him. And now Simplicity is pushing lane. Lee Sin's looking to go back, so we're not going to see a gank coming all too soon. We're going to have to see how bot lane plays this now, because so far the CS disparity is not that big. In fact, I would say that Graves is a little behind, since there's 6 minions pushing towards 6 extra minions on that wave that lovely Iris can get, whereas Graves has actually missed a couple.
Right. And that's probably due to him having to back early because of the aggressive plays.
Of the aggressive plays that they let happen. And bot lane is really close to level 6. Annie is not scared, and she's walking up with Lee Sin behind her. It's kind of like the odd one Reginald kind of thing. He's always near the mid. Drops the stun, gets the resonating strike. Is he going to Q in? Oh, he gets charmed under the turret. Is he going to be able to do much? And Ignite is coming off. XKVZ is going to survive. ISQR is going to survive. He's going to go in for the resonating strike and die to Ari. Surprisingly enough, we have a trade. Simplicity is running away though because he spots the teleport. Evoline also gets ulted by the Annie. Tiber smacks him a little bit, and then a fireball right behind the back.
We're seeing the teleport coming in from Rumble down by, and they were able to secure the kill on Alistar, but that's not going to be nearly enough to what We So Good Looking just pulled from there.
They're giving mid priority this game as opposed to bot, and I think perhaps that was their plan all along. Instead of being afraid of the bot lane, they said we can match your bot lane. That was really dangerous. Get an auto attack on that Thresh. Is he going to be able to die? The heal comes off. There was a teleport from Travipoo. He tries to use Blade of the Exiles active, and he gets a double kill on the bot lane. That over-aggressed. Such an over-aggression, so dangerous. And again, giving up pressure when they shouldn't.
Exactly. This is just making foolish, risky plays like they did last game, and they haven't learned that that's not what you want to do. And right there, they lost 2 lives, and now they're going to lose this dragon.
And We So Good Looking is at the dragon now. They're going to take it, and guess who's going to contest it?
No one. No contest. And everyone's going to assume they're collabing.
Yeah. So that's another. It's the first free dragon of this game, and Evoline is just trying to play the catch-up game.
I mean, okay, so 8 minutes in, first dragon. We So Good Looking is on curve. They're moving along what they want to be doing. Now, right now we're seeing Pantheon, now level 6, isn't really being an effective ganker. Ari's getting caught out by this ward. Can't go down bot. There's so many things that this team is not able to pick out right now because they're just not.
They lost the early game again. And XKVZ was trying to get some control back for his team, but guess what happens when you spend too much time clearing pink wards? They're going to come for you because that's what the plan is. You know, you get vision, and if you see them there, they're going to come for you. So that was really dangerous of her, and she just lost out on even more pressure. She's actually 20 CS behind, and that's going to be pretty jarring for her.
20 CS, that's a good, like 300 gold right there.
That's like a kill. Yeah. So not only is she down a kill, well, she's not down a kill, she's matched in kills, but she's down a kill worth of gold.
Right. And that's just, it's going to be so hard. Whereas last time Ari was just able to hold her own against Annie. It's not like this at all. In fact, now Annie's the one who's...
Yeah, they're convinced they can do this. And they're actually trying to bait an all-in from bot lane here. Travipoo's standing in the equalizer, and he gets auto-attacked by that auto-attack when you're overheat. That actually does bonus magic damage. However, the counter gank coming from Evoline in the bot lane. He's trying to kill Simplicity, actually manages to do so, gets knocked up and punched by the cow. Young Nana being, again, a good, what was it that I say? Linebacker.
Yeah.
But he gets pulled by Humandu. I don't think that was a good idea, though. Our lovely Iris. Spell shields the Q. Is he going to be able to kill Iris Squire? Humandu is doing the best he can. Ari is also coming down to try to do something. However, she gets punched out. But the Sivir gets punched by the cow, and now the cow is going to waste their time. However, Lee Sin did fall to the Ari, and this was exactly what Ari needed to get back in the game.
Exactly. Exactly. There was a bunch of picks that needed to come right after another. There was the pick on Graves, and then onto Lee Sin, and then onto Alistar.
Yep.
That's what they needed to do. Now the score is 6-9, and they're having, it's only a 1K deficit now.
And now at this point, the game is evening out in the kills. Oh, Pantheon tried to ult up top. I don't know if he actually wants to fight this Annie. She is a little bit ahead, and she's going to have her stun soon. She has Mobos. She's going to get out of the way. But I was saying first, now that the kills are evened out, there's only a 1,000 gold deficit, 1,100 gold deficit. And this is something that can be easily made up in a team fight. Here we have the game that we were looking for. And Evil Lean did a great job of staying in the game and not, being tilted, per se, over those first kills. However, Esquire manages to come in and take it. And are they going to bait him? They bait him into it. He shouldn't have followed because that was not a good idea. Now Kaven is there. Is he going to be able to do much? Dry Tears 1v1ing the Ahri. She gets charmed and is not able to do much. Lee Sin lands the Q, kicks him back so that he can't get into his jungle. The Equalizer is coming around. He actually burns Esquire down. Travipu is being slowed by the ult. Is Kaven going to do much? He tries to burn her. Tries to burn Riven, but the shield was not enough to live long.
Man, this Kaven's play on Rumble is seriously nothing to bat your eyelashes at, or whatever the expression is, because he's playing so well on it.
Who and do? Lands a pull on Simplicity. He's going to try to do much. Young Nana, however, knocks back a Lovely Iris, and she wasn't able to spell shield that. However, Young Nana is taking a lot of punishment right now, and she throws, the boomerang blade executes him. Dry Tears comes in, summons Tibber, punches Lovely Iris with Tibbers, and gets blown up by collateral damage.
Did you see that meltdown right there with the collateral damage and the stun Tibbers? It was
half and then half.
It was half and half right there.
It's
man,
pretty exhilarating, to be honest. And even though Ahri has been able to catch up, Annie is so far ahead in gold right now because she has so much more CS. And although Ahri is an assassin and can probably kind of live off of the kills, Annie too is an assassin, and once she gets that Rabadon to drop a bear on you, it's not going to feel good for any of Kumandu's team, because Evil Leanies has a very squishy team.
Yeah.
They don't have a team that, survives for a long time. They have a team that bursts or dies.
And that was missing the charm here, and that's going to be...
Esquire tries to ward jump behind her and kick XKVZ, but she managed to dash out. I mean, that is a cooldown burnt on her, so he might be able to come back around. Rumble is lurking in the shadows near the top side. Is he going to come and try to do anything?
I don't think so. There's nothing that they're going to be able to push there. It would be very foolish to try to fight Annie underneath that tower right now, especially with, Tibber's not up, but, just W them and stun them on the tower.
Yep.
And she's so far ahead of damage.
Dude trying to get some control back in his jungle. Again, I would like to point out how much more vision control that We So Good Looking has over Evil Leanies.
Right.
Because We So Good Looking has always had 2 wards down. And in fact, we've seen them ping when one of those ping wards go down and they immediately replace it.
Right.
So they are on top of their vision game. And if Evil Leanies wants to combat this, they're really going to have to make plays together without any missteps and push back the vision control that they're losing out right now.
Right.
Anyways, Riven had taken the turret up there. She's doing a decent job this time of staying in, at least on level with the Rumble. And we could say that I think she won this one by herself, right? Or
right.
She didn't necessarily win, but she didn't lose.
No, she didn't. Well, no, if looking at the CS and the kills, Riven definitely won her lane if there was a lane. The thing is that they just spent so much time
outside of lane.
Yeah,
but she has definitely a lot of CS. The burst comes down on the grave. There's a teleport from Kaven. Gets a great ult to cut off the escapes of Dry Tears. Simplicity, however, just getting to auto attack a lot. Lovely Iris trying to do as much damage as possible. However, they're going to have to retreat. Travipu flashes in, forces the flash from Lovely Iris. Kaven is trying to do his best. However, he manages to flash out of the stun. And over here, Lovely Iris is trying to do as much damage as possible. Ahri in the top was dealing as much damage as he could to Esquire, and he was just out of position. Gets auto attacked by Travipu, and Sivir goes down. It wasn't Travipu, it was Simplicity. Young Nana actually takes so much damage from the Flame Spitter, and now she's actually trying to do as much as she can. However, Travipu is getting burnt down. The triple kill coming from Kaven, and that is not what you want, is to feed the Rumble. The flash came up for Simplicity, and then the flash went down for Simplicity.
That fight went so much different than everyone was expecting it to go, because once Annie caught everyone in the little funnel right there by Dragon, it was like, oh wow, it's going to be very hard to come back from this fight.
Oh, and then Dragon's up.
Dragon's up. But just after all the fighting, Rumble was able to come there and just spray his fire on everyone, you know. And you know, when you sit in the fire, you're gonna get burned.
Yeah.
All right, and guess what? They got burned, man. And right there on that deal, they got burned, and it did not work out in their favor.
It did not. And here we have another uncontested dragon. This time for Evolinis, they're getting back into this game. Now we have a game, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
Because they got that fight, and look, they got back that ward control. They have vision now.
Exactly. As we're moving out of laning phase right now into the 16-minute mark, we're seeing that they still got the early aggression with the 2 towers 16 minutes in, but this isn't the 4 towers in that they had at 18 minutes.
No, it is not.
They've been able to hold it back just that much more against the aggressive team.
Yeah, and surprisingly enough, before around 18 minutes, we had like a 5-6 gold gap. It's only about 3,000 gold this time, you know. Evolinis are doing their best to counter-aggress, even though they had such a hard time in the early game. And I would say, they have the better catch apparently, because Dry Tears walked into unward territory. Human gets punted, but he gets crit 2 times in buckshot and collateral damage. Everything goes the wrong way for him. Lovely Iris just has to see his friend die, and Iasquire is now bot. They're gonna try to take down this turret.
2 crits with an IE Graves 16 minutes in. That is not a place that you want to experience.
Right? I don't think you want to get crit so much.
Like,
the Evoline.
Ooh, the pick coming out on the Lee Sin right now. And,
Young Nana is pretty tanky.
Yeah.
However, Evoline's ult worked out exactly how he wanted. They got Lee Sin. Young Nana got abandoned by his teammates because they didn't want to feed anymore. You know, they want to stop the snowball. And so Ari comes in and tries to help, but the kill goes down to Sivir.
I think if Simplicity had come back there, like, for the cow and just, like, showed his face, like, hey, stop attacking my cow.
Attacking the cow.
I feel like they would have stopped. And
probably.
I feel like that might have been a misplay there.
Probably.
Simplicity.
But they're pinging really violently. They really want this rumble. Annie's approaching from the front. Riven is coming from the side. However, they saw that there's unwarded territory that rumble's walking into, so they're backing away. They're like, no, thank you, man. And the gap of gold is slowly closing.
Exactly.
Evolinis are doing a great job of staying in this game, and that is what these teams have that made them come back so far. This is why one of them is going to be the best in Las Vegas. Even though things go bad, they find a way to turn it around.
So right now we're just seeing some ward clearing right now, and you're seeing just how important that ward coverage game is.
Yeah, but look at the turnaround on those wards. As a matter of fact, look at how deep those red wards are for Evolinis, or not Evolinis, sorry, for
We So Good Looking.
We So Good Looking. And Evolinis only has entrance wards, so right now they don't have as much information as they would want, because they don't know where they actually are past that river. And as you can see, they're skirting around that river, except for Lee Sin, who is going to get picked off. Nope, the charm falls because of the dash. Humandu tried to predict that, but wasn't able to do much. Iasquire is still not in such a great position. However, they backed off. They didn't want to get Annie ulted, and Riven was there saying, hey guys, I have a sword. Calm down.
I think Ari was just trying to get as much damage as she could, realizing that she kind of blew her ult too early there.
Yeah.
And now
Young Nana punts XKVZ across the Dragon Wall.
to the lantern for safety. It's really like, oh, thanks, Young Nana.
He didn't intend to, but
I know.
Oh, Evoline putting some pressure down on Simplicity. However, he turns on Chavipu, who pops his ult so that he can get some damage reduction from his E. Simplicity actually manages to kill off screen, and the Sivir manages to kill Riven, who was trying to, run away. But things went really bad there for Evolinis, because although the fight was scattered, the wrong people got paired up with the wrong enemies.
Exactly.
If it was the other way around, I think they would have been fine.
But instead, now we got almost an ace. Ari got out of there barely, but it looks like she's trying to start a fight with, like, Annie.
Dry Tears.
Annie.
Is she going to be able to do anything? Annie gets ignited.
Oh, she walks right through the queue.
She walked into the queue. She didn't really have a choice. I think she thought she was dead. Yeah. But XKVZ barely lives from that queue from Annie, the Pyroblast.
And so we're seeing those little picks right now, but right now, after a fight that crushing with the 4-0 basically until that 1 kill on Annie, that's not what you're going to want right now. That 1 kill does not make up for what just happened in the Dragon.
In fact, it actually adds up in the numbers, because that gold disparity that was 3K before is actually almost 5K now.
Right.
So the trades that they are making are not working out for them. And I don't think it's a good idea for them to be split up the way they were last time. Because Sivir dying by herself and only getting 1 kill, while Pantheon and she died, and then Rumble getting completely picked off by the Annie and Lee Sin. was not. It was just a bad place at the bad time.
Right.
You know? Anyways, we get a pull on the cow. That cow really likes to get pulled. You gotta give him props.
It's true, he does. But as much as he likes getting pulled, I think Human should realize that it's not so nice to pull the cow.
Yeah, but I don't think he's doing it on purpose, as I was saying. They're trying to get some control of the dragon. However, the young Nana gets CC'd. However, she's going to try to help him out, and Travipu comes in, does amazing tons of damage. The equalizer actually falls when people already left the bush, and now they're not going to be able to do much. Simplicity gets the auto attack. Travipu kills Kevin with one of her broken wings, and they're going to be able to take mid, and they might actually get this mid turret, and probably even more, because although it's only 8 seconds on Thresh, everyone else is around 10 seconds, and they have a full, tower taking team right now.
The thing about that is that they were trying to do that pincer attack on the two
on the cow.
Yeah, and it just didn't work out because they didn't need to be pincer attack. Once they killed the two that were coming in for the bottom, they just switched their focus immediately to the three coming from the top, and then it was basically a 5v2 and then a 5v3.
And it just feels like they're being a little bit too desperate for these picks, because they're throwing out, like, Ahri did not have any need to throw out her CC into the cow.
Right.
She could have just waited to see someone else. I mean, she could have harassed him, but now they gave up a free dragon, and now that gold lead is again starting to increase pretty consistently.
That's one of the things that I lament about the games that we've seen so far, is that there haven't been real dragon baron fights. It's always been ace the team and then go get the objective.
Yeah, and that was all a matter of convenience about how these guys are playing. Because if you pay attention to what happened before that team fight went Ahri for Evil Leanies, they were actually trying to get ward control of Dragon to create a fight there. And it actually would have probably been a good fight if they managed to convince them to do Dragon and then gotten a Rumble ult across, but that didn't happen for them. And so they just got picked off one by one. Rumble had to miss his ult because he had to desperately try to save his teammates, and so everything just went awry.
Right. One of the things that I'm noticing right now from Red Team as they're trying to make this push, it's like, what are they trying to get right now? It looks like they're going to move towards the bot lane so they can get that second tower, but they're going to probably be increasing their ward coverage down here in the bottom jungle. And
they're trying that viral warding strategy, they're trying to put wards, but Dry Tears, the second time, he walks into unwarded ground and gets punished for it very hard. They managed to pick her off with Rumble. XKVZ gets away, and over here, Rumble gets a triple. Is he going to get a quadra kill? And he does not get the quadra kill. Pantheon does it, but they overextended.
That was exactly what they needed, though, right now. With the pick comp that they have going on, while they were able to get that pick, they're not going to be able to get anything. They might be able to get this mid tower, but it's right after Riven was able to get second top tower.
Yeah.
And I feel like Riven would be able to kill quite a few of these people here. She just
she actually broken winged her way into. She had a suspicion that Ahri was over there. Oh, and lovely Iris's reset on her bouncing blade actually let her kill Riven before the auto attack could go off.
You saw right there that they hesitated with going for Riven, and rather than just going in and attacking Riven, they let Ahri die before they went for the tower.
Yeah, and this red buff is hurting. This red buff is hurting, lovely Iris. Oh man, that red buff was not. I think that red buff is on red side.
That red buff was working against them right now.
That red buff was not working for them at all.
Okay.
Anyways, so they need to regroup here because they've been taking risks that they don't need to take, and Evil Leanies have been able to capitalize on that very well.
I think with that team fight, what went right was that they were able to get the charm off on a member of We So Good Looking, and they were able to just kill him immediately. It was Dry Tears. They were just able to kill him immediately, and that's what they need to do.
Esquire tries to go in on Humandu, probably not a good idea. Gets a lot of damage from SKVZ. Esquire is trying his best to distract them. However, lovely Iris manages to pick up the kill. Dry Tears over here drops the ult. Humandu is peeling so well for XKVZ, and Kaven is trying his best to do as much damage as possible. Sivir helps out, the whole team helps out, and they got caught in the jungle, which is not what they want to do against a Rumble. Rumble excels in jungle fights. However, Travipu comes out, locks him down with her W, and is able to kill the Ahri. Is he going to make it out? Travipu gets critted by Sivir, and that is an ace for the blue team. Excellently played, actually, by blue team to take over that fight that was going and use the positional advantage of the jungle that Rumble has with Iris and just mow them down. It was literally like a machine gun.
Oh, wow. See the pick right there. Picks. That is exactly what this team wants to be getting.
Yeah,
and they were able to get on Lee Sin right now.
Probably they should consider right now to not move up so far against this team, especially when they have, this is a game of titans for the top lane, as you can see, because right now the top laners, although Iris is doing good, the top laners are key playmakers right now.
Right.
Rumble with his ult, who's super fed. He has a lot of damage. He has the Zhonya's, he has the Andres, and he's about to finish his Rylai's.
Right.
And Riven, with the amount of damage she has and innate tankiness from her shield because of her AD, are both going to be assets on this fight. If they can get rid of the AD carries on each side, it's going to be a very close fight.
Right. Man, I bet XKVZ is getting real tired of dying to Riven's ult. He's like, man, I'm getting real tired of this.
Every time he walks around, it's like, oh, there's a Riven ult. See you around, guys. It's pretty rough. But Evilini's popping the ult on Sivir. Are they going to be able to catch anyone? Dry Tears is probably a dangerous pick. However, they turn back. They're like, all right, we didn't make it. Let's go back to pushing mid, because now they're in an excellent position to team fight and siege. Exactly. And that's probably what they're going to do most of the game.
What they did different that time, when they missed their pick, they backed up. They didn't chase after it.
And the Rumble ult comes down when he gets cut off by Evilini. Dry Tears tries to put down the bear, but the bear actually dies way too fast. Travipu takes way too much damage and dies. Sivir is trying her best to duel. She actually kills the Graves. Is she going to be able to solo the young Nana? The young Nana is trying his best, punching him as a cow would. And because there was no one focusing the Sivir, she was able to take down 2 people. Evilini picked off the Lee Sin and was able to make him die instantly.
That's
the Rumble leveled the red team.
That is insane. They were able to, these picks are working out in their favor. And now, we so good looking, they have to stop. They have to stop giving them these free kills, because once they get that one free kill, it rolls into aces. This is the second ace in a row.
This is the second time that Evilini's goes for Baron and someone dies to it. Uncontested, mind you, but they died to it again.
Yeah, they got to work on that team taken, but they've got to stop dying to them. And right now you're seeing for the first time this match, Evilini's has the gold lead.
They have finally picked up that goal lead. They were equal actually before that team fight, but then when Evilini's chased and then Lee Sin veered off from his team, that was the part where it was bad. And now they pick up a 3rd dragon for Evilini's, and that's the 2nd dragon.
Yeah.
There was 3 dragons taken. Oh, and here goes Sivir ult is coming out. Flash from Human forces the flash from, I think it was the cow. Yeah, I can't tell.
It was the cow. But yet again, I wouldn't say that's more beneficial than say the early game of last game.
Yeah. Well, see, now that they're ahead for sure, burning a flash for Alistar's flash is okay, because flash pulverize is not an option anymore.
Right. And that's a big engagement option.
That is something that can help them in this game. If they can flash pulverize the right people, maybe even Rumble, although Rumble has Zhonya's, they might be able to turn this fight. But right now, everything is on the side of Evilini's, and they're kind of sneaking around in their own jungle. They're probably trying to see where the heck red team is, because We So Good Looking is they've been sneaking around too.
Well, they've got a semi-good idea where red team is, because they're We So Good Looking is walking around some wards that they have down there near the dragon. But they're probably just walking around because they're like, okay, we're strong, but we know we can still lose this.
Yeah.
So what they need to do right now is maybe land another sort of pick underneath this tower on someone critical.
Which can be well done with Human.
With Human, with Ari, and with Pantheon.
And with these tanky minions.
With the Baron. You see,
I don't know if they want the young Nana ult. Hey, here comes the equalizer. Actually managed to get in on a lot of people with the team. Travipu goes on a lovely Iris, gets exhausted, isn't able to do a lot of damage. Kevin over there trying to burn down Simplicity. However, lovely Iris is not being able to put out as much damage as possible. Annie's Bear did so much damage. All the AoE actually managed to win them that team fight because Ari and Pantheon and Human were so out of the way. Esquire makes the mistake of trying to fight them 1v2, and they pick up 1 kill to make up for that, but that was definitely not a good team fight for them. Kaven had a perfect ult, but his team was out of position and got picked off by Annie's amazing burst. And you can't ignore that.
After that thresh hook, after pulling in the Alistar, that is just a mistake that you cannot make. Yeah. And they keep making it, man. They can't keep making those mistakes.
Well, I feel like they kind of realized it halfway. They were like, oh, man, we just lassoed us a cow, and I don't think we want this cow right now. And they tried to turn from it, but I feel like it was a half-hearted turn because the Rumble ult did come out, and I don't know if it was to disengage or to engage.
See, it could be something as simple as on their team comms, it could have been like, I'm going to throw a hook, whoever I pull, kill, something like that, and that could have been a very misguided, sort of statement. But once like they pulled in Alistar, someone could have been like, oh, this is a bad idea, but then someone could have been like, oh, hey, you said kill whoever you hook, and that's just something that could have happened in between team comms, and
it just happened.
Yeah,
to be honest, that's what happened, and unfortunately for Evolinis, that they took the short end of the stick there. But fortunately for We So Good Looking, they're getting to that point where the gold, although the disparity is about $3,000, they're probably equal in strength. I mean, Sivir is really strong. Graves is probably strong enough to match up. Riven is strong enough to fight her. Rumble and Ahri and Sivir are going to have to put the damage in the right places, or else Riven and Graves are going to roll them over, with Tibbers blocking most of the damage.
Right now could be a very prime time to try to start a fight, because Riven is still trying to come. Riven's too far away to to help, but not far away enough to warrant a teleport. And that could have been a very good fight for them, but Riven's coming back to join the team.
Yep. Over here, they're trying to get some control, Oh, they get the charm on Travipu. He actually managed to make it out. Kaven actually almost gets bursted by Summon Tibbers from Annie. However, he manages to live because he is so tanky and so far ahead. It was, a lot of shots being fired everywhere. Really explosive, but we're going to have to see what happens right now.
Oh, man. Yeah. He's able to get out of there, but I feel like they're going to retreat right now.
Oh, Esquire dashes in, flashes past the Ahri, but is not able to do much. Is not going to get killed, however. Lovely Iris takes a lot of damage from Dry Tears. The young Nana doing his best. Kaven gets an ult that was so amazing into the back line, and now Travipu has nothing to do but to run away because of that ult. It leveled the carries.
It
completely leveled the carries. And here comes the grand Skyfall on the young Nana. He's not going to go without a fight, though. However, the Zonius comes down for Ahri, and they're going to be able to take him down and push through the bot lane.
Absolutely no doubt that equalizer was what won them that team fight right there. But it's look, right now they were able to show that their pick power led to their team fight power with Rumble's equalizer and the box and just everything that could have happened.
But the thing is, the only problem I have with We So Good Looking team comp is Riven. I feel as if they would have picked somebody of equal team fight presence. Riven has some good team fight presence, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But Rumble's team fight presence is just that much more consistent. And so if they would have picked somebody else to, aside from Riven, I couldn't really think of who. Maybe not Sion, but I don't know, perhaps.
Sion would probably be a good one. But right now we're seeing Esquire going on Evoline, and he's going to make it out to his teammates, so all good.
I don't know who they would pick aside. Maybe that Lysandra that got banned. But
Lysandra Cassidy got banned.
She doesn't have that opportunity, and I guess the playstyle that he has is a carry-oriented playstyle and not a team fight carry-oriented playstyle.
All right, we're seeing the third dragon go down for blue team.
Coming down for blue team. No hesitation and no contest. They got what they wanted, and this was the good game that we were hoping to see.
Right.
Everyone played to their strengths, and no one gave up on their own mistakes. And so now we had such a close game. These amazing team fights were able to happen, and we get to see where the superiority lies when when all lanes go even. Who wins is the team with the team fights, and the ones that make the right picks.
Right now we're seeing a little bit of coverage going down for Baron because Baron has just spawned, and that might be the next big objective because, yet again, Evolini's team is strong, but they're not strong enough to completely roll them over like the first game.
Not yet.
So
at least not yet. Humandu tries to go in, however, there's a little bit of smoke on his face. He's like, don't drive in the smoke.
Yeah.
That's what they tell us here. You know, they actually tell us in Vegas to not drive when there's mist because it's dangerous. But we never have any mist or smog,
No, I had
whatever
no
it is they
idea.
talk about. Anyways, they're getting some control around Baron. Evilinis are trying to get that control. However, the flash from Human misses. Actually, doesn't pull the count. The Grand Skyfall is coming down. They're going to try to go on Young Nana. Young Nana gets a great knockup on all of them, and Dry Tears tries to put down Tibbers. However, Kaven manages to take her down, and now all of the damage is being focused on Riven. Sivir actually goes a little bit too far and dies to the graves. However, Evoline is going to stab him with his toothpick a little bit, and they're going to take the fight one more time. Now they're pinging for Baron. They can do it since they don't have a wave that they can actually push with.
Right.
So they're going to do it right now. We're going to see if they're going to have any contests there, because Lee Sin can still come in and try to do something, but I really doubt that he'll try.
Now, right there, I feel like Annie is missing a very key item. That item right now is Sonya's, because she was in the middle of the fight doing so much damage. But I mean, she was in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, well, you see what happened is she actually flashed back to summon Tibbers, and then when they all landed and were out of the stun, everyone went on her.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, well, if you want to play this game, then we'll do it. And here Lee Sin's going to try to do something. Oh, he actually tries to go in with a ward. He's not going to be able to get out. Aya Squire gets CC, gets pulled, gets burned, and dies to this Rumble, who is now 16-4, 14, 30 kills out of 45 are part of his life.
Oh, no.
Who teleports back, goes on the Riven. But he's not actually going to get her because Humandu saves the day. Kevin tries to do however, she gets Travipu, kills Rumble. Humandu is over here trying to protect her team. Evoline walks into the wrong bush at the wrong time and gets CC'd by Tibbers. However, Lovely Iris comes in like a superhero and manages to kill them with her ult. Gets auto attacks going off, crits everyone a billion times. And another team fight in the favor of Evolini. Simplicity is trying to turn tail. Doesn't get the charm. XKVZ tried to turn back with the fadeaway charm, but it didn't work out. They're wasting a little bit of time.
I was in there again, just going, man, Riffin's killing XKVZ again. How art thou upset?
I saw the ult coming into her, and I was like, man, XKVZ is not having a good time.
Oh man! But that fight went yet again, just not how I expected. But now with the almost the 11K lead, for the blue team, they're starting to hit that point. They're starting to hit that point where fights are going to be a roll.
Yeah.
So what do We So Good Looking have to do now in order to have a chance of winning this?
We So Good Looking is in a very tough situation. I mean, I want to say they could resort to picks because they have Riven, because Riven's team fight potential has fallen off tremendously. She gets exhausted, she gets stunned, and she's probably going to blow up. I mean, I know she has some tank stats. Evoline goes in for the Annie. She actually misses a Timber stun and gets destroyed by Pantheon. However, Travipu and the squad are trying to go in and intercept because Rumble is not actually there. However, Rumble does have TP. Is he going to come in and is he going to have a great ult? Kevin actually gets kicked, does not able to land the equalizer. Travipu goes over, the equalizer goes down. He survives. Travipu is taking all of the equalizer. XKVZ has Zonia's. They land the pull on Aya Squire. XKVZ dashes, gets Simplicity with Lovely Iris, and they take down the cow for the ace. Those amazing reactions by the team.
The absolute clean ace right now. There was no way that was supposed to happen, and it just completely worked out well for them.
They went in and they tried to get the Annie, and it worked. And then they tried to 4v2, but they had TP on Rumble. And guess what Rumble's going to do? He's going to light the roof on fire, and they're going to take the game. Dry Tears dies one more time for Fantasy LCS. And here we have a victory for Evolinis.
Wow. After coming back from
some pretty one-sided matches here and there. You saw a pretty one-sided win the first game from Evolinis, and then that second game, We So Good was able to bring it back, twofold with an equally sound beating. And then game 3, we went ahead and had ourselves a very close match with Evolinis just barely making it.
And then there's the Roman. So, like I said, in the second game, WSSGL went a lot more comfort picks, and it worked for them.
Yes, it did.
And they dominated. In the second one, they went more comfort picks, and it was very close. But they're getting smart. They did ban the Rumble. I am just upset that Evolinis didn't ban the Riven. I mean, I know they won, but it's still been causing problems. So maybe they should think about banning Riven, unless of course they win this one, then it doesn't matter. So, but maybe because they're trying to bait Riven in, they are going to pick Malphite right now. Malphite's a very good counter to Riven just because you're so tanky and you can reduce the attack speed, so it takes a lot longer for the passive to go off. So that is a good pick, and so they're maybe saying, hey, were you thinking about Riven? Well, all right, bring it, you know. So they're baiting it out enough, and so the bans Janna, Zed, Irelia, and Lissandra seem to be basic. They did change up the Lee Sin. I guess that was causing problems, especially because a lot of times it was flash, but Sonic Wave still hit, you know, a nuisance to be honest. And I get that. I don't like Lee Sin. That's an annoying champ to fight. So two changes of bans. And right now we have 2 changes in picks because Rek'Sai was only picked first match and they did really well with it, you know. And they're probably gonna do really well with it again. And then they changed to Malphite instead of having a Gnar again or you know any type like Rumble, especially since Rumble was banned. So
I definitely do like the Rumble ban here from We So Good Looking because they Rumble for the past. I mean, maybe not the second game, but the first and third games, Kevin was absolutely dominant on that Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he got so fed, got so many kills, was able to snowball not only his lane but his entire team to pretty resounding results. I mean, those equalizers were hitting so incredibly hard, and I mean, even if they weren't hitting, they were setting up a good zone control for the rest of his team to go in there and win a lot of fights. So he was making a very big splash with that Rumble those games.
Yes.
So I'm glad to see that go ahead and get banned. I do like that young Nana is going to end up going back to the Alistar. Alistar was making some pretty
was doing good.
making some pretty good calls and making some pretty good adjustments over there in that third game, getting some pretty good picks and honestly CCing very well for his team. So we're going to go ahead and see Alistar and Graves again, once again in that bot lane. I really do like that from We So Good Looking. And
Evilini's doing a scary combo right now. You got an unstoppable forest that is going to carry a ball of mayhem.
This is what I like to call the prototypical ball delivery system. That is also the very very first ball delivery system. The AOE knock up into an AOE. Knock up, together. It's like I call it the blender. The blender. It's the blender. You know, you gotta toss your salad, it makes it all up, and there you go. And that's your salad. Perfect. Absolutely wonderful.
That is scary.
Delicious.
And then on top of that, Rek'Sai to keep them in the air. They have not only is their CC really hard to dodge, but their CC is non-tenacity against. You can't tenacity a knockup. That's why it's so powerful. And honestly, if a Nami comes out, that'd be great. I mean, Nami's not the best to pick, but just to complete the comp of pure knockup CC, along with Sivir giving them movement speed to get there, that's crazy. But then again, we got a different knockup. It's going to be Sion.
Now, I think in this particular game, for Evilinis, Sivir is playing a primarily support role in having the on the hunt active, so that the rest of his team is set up and they can get priority picks and good team fights and good engages. And with so many different forms of knockup and forms of AOE CC and damage, they're going to be looking to get fights.
Yes.
They're going to be looking to start fights. So they're going to be looking to win
very
the lane
early
phase.
too.
And yes, exactly, very very early. That's why the teleport is coming down onto Sion 2 to get those potential plays. Meanwhile, over here on We So Looking Good, they're definitely looking for a bit more disengage with the Cassiopeia Petrifying Gaze that will definitely allow them to stop at least a very little bit of engage that they would be able to that Evilinis would be able to bring into this game, because that Petrifying Gaze is definitely going to be able to stop Orianna or Rek'Sai in their tracks as they're coming along, but it won't be able to stop a Malphite or a Sion.
Oh, no. Unstoppable 4 is unstoppable for a reason, man. But, so I was looking, so that was very smart. They first picked Malphite and going to support to make sure that they didn't pick Riven. They didn't want to ban Riven, but they didn't want to deal with it. Right. So it's a very good taunt, and then they put Malphite support. And so it forced Travipu onto Cassiopeia, which is still not a bad pick, especially against a Sion. So she can exchange really well. Not as hard, if the Qs keep hitting from Sion, it's going to work a lot better than Cassiopeia, but she can still chain.
Well, the thing is, in this particular lane, what will work out for Kevin in this lane is World of Slayer has the ability to hit minions and hit targets behind him. He will be able to farm effectively with it, and he will also be able to harass Cassiopeia, because he will not want to go into melee range and auto attack and farm minions, because Cassiopeia will easily be able to harass him with her Qs and Es. Right.
Yeah.
So in this case, they they were able to get away from the Riven here and force a bit of a safer distance pick, AoE-centric pick in Cassiopeia. More DPS, more AP oriented in this side. They're pretty AP heavy if you look at them over here on We So Good Looking with Cassiopeia and Ari.
And somewhat Alistar.
And somewhat with Alistar right there. But like you said, the support. The support, more than anything, I think the support Malphite pick is going to be
That's weird,
the most interesting.
But it seems actually it would do good because because she's been favoring Graves. Simplicity. I don't know why I said she, but he's been favoring Graves on Simplicity. And what's Graves' passive? It's the more auto attacks, obviously the more tanky he gets. So Malphite reducing auto attack speed would do a lot of damage. Then to slow, so even after quick draw they can catch up. And on top of that, a pop up that's very hard to see. So. Combo with a Sivir who can just get movement speed like crazy for her and her allies. I'm predicting, honestly, they're going to farm really hard early. Possibly, I wouldn't be surprised for a Relic Shield on Malphite, but it might be it might be the new Shirelia's item for the gold coin. And so that way they can just get super movement speed, and they're going to, at level 6, they're going to back. And if Simplicity and Young Nana stay in lane, right behind tower, Sivir's going to ult, and they're going to go hard for an engage and try to get that double kill early, and then take the lead from there. I don't predict any real fighting before that, though.
Well, don't forget, too, on top of Cassiopeia having her own teleport, the thing is here in bot lane, in Evilini's, to Evilini's advantage, they do have the wombo combo going on from a potential unstoppable force into an unstoppable onslaught. Wombo combo from Sion and Malphite if Sion does teleport in from bottom bush. So Simplicity and Young Nana got to be really, really aware of the warding. Of warding in tri-bush and warding in their back bushes when they do go ahead and go hard for engages or decide to be aggressive in lane. Otherwise, that wombo combo is going to kill them because the sheer amount of knockups plus movement speed is just going to annihilate them in fights. So they got to be really careful about that.
And not to mention, the unstoppable onslaught, like you said, they don't even have to have a ward in range. They can put the ward right behind the tower for it's safe, and he can just come in.
Exactly.
And even if what's his name? Thought of this not Evilene. I'm talking about Kevin. Knows about the perfect ult glitch. They could put the ward into Tribush right next to them, and actually have vision coverage there, and then he could just glitch through, and it'll work out perfectly well. And they're gonna make amazing plays. So I think bot lane is where it's gonna all come crashing down, and whoever takes this early lead is gonna have the biggest advantage in mid game and possibly secure it for them.
All right, well, we are into this game right now, everyone. This is Game 5. This is going to be a best of 5, so this is match point right here for Evil. I'm sorry, excuse me, Game 4 here. And Evilinis, if they win this game, will take this tournament 3-1. So honestly, We So Good Looking, they are on the spot here. They've got to make this game happen. They were very solid last game. It came down to the wire in both kills, gold, and objectives. So I'm expecting a very good game from them too. I'm expecting a resounding game. I'm hoping for a Game 5 only because it's been so hype up until this point.
Oh man, it goes from one-sided absolute massacre for Evilinis to a one-sided destruction by WSGL to like I'm not even sure who's gonna win this next game. And now we're here on Game 4 where there's so much nerves going on. If WSGL loses, they're out, like you said. So they're very nervous. While Evilinis, they're thinking, you know what, if we lose, we're still in this. We have one more game. So they might not play as relaxed. So you have WSGL that has to battle nerves and make sure they don't get the grits and they're not shaky. And you have Evilinis that have to make sure that they're not too relaxed and they actually play. So it's playing a factor in both minds, and it's going to be interesting to see play out, especially in this huge wombo combo versus a kind of a pick comp against two champs that are really hard to pick, you know?
Exactly. All right, well, we do have a standard jungling procedure here going on. Rek'Sai is going to go ahead and start here at Gromp, going to get some help from her bot lane. Meanwhile, we're going to have Nocturne start over there, at his blue. Meanwhile, Sion is immediately going to go ahead and flash out. Looks like he was going there for a couple of jungle minions, and he got caught out.
Yes.
So he will go ahead and go back.
Cassiopeia very aware of the of the what seems to be the normal Raptor start for Sion, and decided, you know what, it's a minute 55. I don't see him. Let's go check Raptors, and punished him. He got flash.
I mean, and in that lane, he was going to get out harassed, so he couldn't immediately go for the minions. He needed them to push up, so I can see why he would go for those minions right then and there. But meanwhile, Alistar taking a lot of harass here in bot lane, trying to get a little bit of CS here for his Graves in the form of the Relic Shield. The poke is coming out from both sides. It does look like Graves is taking the brunt of the poke here. Malphite is going to go ahead and land the E onto Graves. The exhaust does come down. He is forced to back off. Alistar Pulverize will come down and stop any form of any further harass coming from him, and they're just gonna back off and continue farming.
That was unfortunate. The young Nana messed up his combo and just headbutted her away. Spell Shield came back right as soon as Sivir was done traveling, so there's a good possibility she might have Spell Shielded it. However, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't, because the travel distance plus the knockup, it kind of makes it so you can't really cast those spells too well. So that could have resulted in the Sivir kill, but it almost would have guaranteed the Graves kill, because he would have had to stay in, and you see he's very low right now.
Yeah.
And so Malphite and Alistar are both on Relic Shield, so they will get some health back for their buddies. Sivir is looking good. Alistar Graves not so much, but Alistar does have the heal above Malphite,
yes.
So that is very good.
Yes, the Triumphant Aura will definitely help him CC along with that Relic Shield. He'll be back to full health in no time, but he does have to play pretty safe in the meantime. Meanwhile,
coming down onto Cassiopeia is something to fear. That's what not a lot of people understand. Sion does ridiculous damage and doesn't have anything.
Well, the thing is, Roar of the Slayer, the people tend to forget, Roar of the Slayer does magic damage, and it does 50% more damage when you get hit by, when the second target hits that that champion, whenever that minion that gets hits the back line. So she's taking a lot of damage because he's utilizing straight lines to go ahead and harass her behind minions. So on top of farming, he's also harassing her. He's winning it twofold.
Yeah, and actually a really important thing is, since they have a Cassiopeia top, the only tanks that they have are Alistar and Nocturne. So they have a support tank and a jungle tank. Really not the best tanks. You want to kind of have
meanwhile,
a top tank.
Harass is going to come down here. Sana is going to go ahead and miss the Q, and he's going to pay for it dearly. He's eating a bunch of Twin Fangs from Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia is just going to go ahead and back, but Rek'Sai does flash in with the Queen's Wrath. The red buff is ticking. It doesn't look like it'll be enough to take down Cassiopeia. Meanwhile, Sion tried to get a kill in his death, but it did not work out for him. He's going to go ahead and take that one kill.
That was like 4 Twin Fangs in like a second.
Yeah, I mean, Sion waited. He waited in the poisonous pool. Meanwhile, Sivir is going to go ahead and get harassed by Graves over here. She is backing off. She will go ahead and flash over the wall there. And wow, Malphite is going to go ahead and get that kill onto Graves.
Oh, gets the auto attack.
That was nice. Auto attack from Orianna. Very clutch on Ahri over there.
It's very fast. When you command attack, auto attack, it's very fast. It's hard to flash the auto attack after a command attack. It just goes
Not to mention powerful too. She had them racking up for a little while as well. So that last auto attack really did hurt.
Yeah. And so but back to the Cassiopeia, you want to have a top tank if you want to secure tank. Luckily they have 2 semi tanks, but they do have to try to win early. She did get the kill, great. She's winning early now. She has the farm, she has the kill advantage, and she's forcing Sion to build MR while she's building her normal late game build. So it's working really well for her. They just need to keep this. Nocturne did come top, Rek'Sai came top with Nocturne. They were trying to get something going for Sion, but they got to make sure that doesn't happen. So she's got to be on top of wards. She's got to stick with her dominance. She has to stay in front of minions to prevent the damage. And Charm does hit.
Yeah, meanwhile, Charm does hit on Orianna.
Not much damage.
She doesn't take much harass at all. She will just go back. She was a little too far pushed up right there. And the friendly Nocturne was behind Ahri at the time, but it wasn't too much to capitalize on.
Rek'Sai is top though. He's waiting in the bush, trying to get a gank. Nocturne will be spot out by that ward.
Yeah, the Dustbringer is not gonna be quite enough for him to get over there and get the big on. Rek'Sai is coming down here. They're gonna go ahead and get the slow on Cassiopeia. The Unburrow will proc on her. She's firing Twin Fangs off for trying to save herself for dear life. The Prey Seeker is gonna go ahead and get that kill for Rek'Sai though.
Like I said, she needs to stay on top of wards. Rek'Sai was in there for a good 30 seconds. Yeah. She needs to stay on wards, stay dominant, stay safe. Because right now she's not winning the lane anymore. She had that kill. She had that early kill, and she should have just stuck with that lead there and played safe because
escapability is not something in her kit at all. She really does suffer from low mobility, but besides landing her Qs here and there for a little bit of movement speed, but the CC from Sion and Rek'Sai, outdid that.
one thing to know. Ooh, Fear
Yeah, the
comes.
Spirit is going to come down. She is going to go ahead and Spirit Rush. She doesn't look like she has the mana to go ahead and engage. A beautiful headbutt to Pulverize combo does come down on lovely Iris and Humandu. So but it's not going to be enough. He's just going to go ahead, back off. Alistar is taking a little bit of harass, but he does have Triumphant Roars coming up now and then to heal him back up.
Level 6 is coming up bot lane soon. And so I'm expecting a lot of explosion, a lot of games within a minute or two. Because once they're level 6, everyone's level 6. Basically, that's a good timer to say.
Yep.
So this is where things are going to explode. This is where Evilinis need to group up and get some ganks off because they have easy ganks. Easy ganks. Every one of them can do an easy gank. And so they can easily get the kill. There is some escapability for Ahri and quick draw on Graves, but that's it. So I would say if they can destroy top, if they can try to catch Ahri and bait her in with using the Spirit Rush, they can absolutely just win early game. They're already winning. They could just enhance that lead, and they could absolutely secure mid game. So I'm expecting that very soon. By 10 minutes, there needs to be a gank, and if not, Evilinis isn't really going right yet. They need to make sure they stay on top of this lead. They are winning bot lane, which is cool. About 8 farm up for Sigurd.
Oh, but Rek'Sai is going to go ahead and outsmite Nocturne there. He takes his red and he's just going to walk right off with it. He's right there near bot lane too for a potential gank, but it looks like they will go ahead and try it. Looks like they might potentially tower dive over here, but it did not. The friendly Nocturne is there. The Pulverize is going to come out of Alistar. Is he going to try and headbutt him back? The collateral damage comes down, puts a lot of damage down on Rek'Sai, and Nocturne is going to be able to take that kill. Silver does pop on the hut. Paranoia does come down from Nocturne. The Spell Shield will go ahead and block the Dustbringer, and lovely Iris and Humandu are just going to retreat there, but Rek'Sai does go down. That Unburrow was...
He unburrowed and it tanked him. It made him tank tower. I don't know what the Unburrow was for.
I'm not sure what that was for either. He could have definitely seen... I could have sworn he saw Nocturne. So Nocturne come in, and that was not smart at all.
No, he was retreating, and Alistar was on top of it, and then he just unburrowed instead of either tunneling out, which he had tunnel. But here's the Rek'Sai ult. He's gonna try to go.
The board rush is going straight to the red. He's just gonna go continue farm.
Fine, that's normal. But like I said, he saw Nocturne. He was retreating. Alistar was on top of them, and instead of tunneling, which he had up because the second.
Oh, all right. The ult does come down from Humandu. He puts a lot of damage onto Graves. Graves is retreating. Meanwhile, Orianna does take a lot of harass here from Ahri. The Spirit Rush coming in. Well, one proc of the Spirit Rush did manage to hit Orianna. The Ignite did not last long enough. Meanwhile, Rek'Sai is going to go on. He's going ahead and gets her with the Orb of Deception. And Humandu and lovely Iris are taking a couple of tower shots here.
Hopefully
the spell shield is hopefully just going to go ahead and block any kind of retaliation here from young Nana. They're going to go ahead and back off. But that mid lane play there from Dry Tears was was honestly pretty legit.
I don't know why Ori stayed though.
I don't understand either. She was going to get the assist no matter what happened to Ori right then and there.
But here
and she
comes the
help
petrifying glaze though to lock him up, and lots of twin fangs.
The Q coming down, the twin fangs putting down a lot of damage onto Scion.
She has no older mana,
and this is one of the problems here for Cassiopeia. She has to stack that tier very hard in order to be able to farm effectively and harass in lane, and she needs blue buffs. So that is a problem for her. So Nocturne is gonna have to give up his blue buff if he does want Travipoo to continue to do as well as he has been in lane.
So TP does come down on Cassiopeia. It was kind of interesting. So Scion knew that Cassiopeia would have to back, pushed the wave hard, and forced Cassiopeia to TP, thinking that Scion would keep pushing, and just recalled himself. And he does have TP up. I doubt he'd use it unless he's gonna go try and bot.
Okay, yeah, I see him moving here. He might have honestly thought about it for a second, and then he saw Cassiopeia pushing up her lane. He's like, I have a teleport. If I need to get there, I can just teleport.
He doesn't need to teleport at this point, so that's good.
No, he's just gonna head back along.
So I got a question because I don't know this actually.
Yeah.
If Scion were to do his ult and then teleport, does it just go through, or does it?
I believe he's restricted from doing any actions in his ult.
That'd be pretty cool.
Besides the interesting hold position with H, which actually allows him to change his trajectory if just a little bit. It's actually a very interesting glitch. Right, hasn't patched it. It stops Scion in his tracks. You've probably seen it in solo queue now and then, but it's pretty interesting. Meanwhile, red team here. I'm sorry. Evilini's gonna go ahead and take their first dragon of the game.
I mean, when you think about it, maybe if you're quick enough, if you press the H to glitch and TP, it might go off.
I don't know. The Paranoia is going to come out on Orianna. She is near her tower, and she's going to go ahead and knock the Shockwave out. And a beautiful unstoppable force coming in from Malphite.
Look where they came from.
The teleport coming in from Sion, but it was absolutely unnecessary.
No, I mean, but like, they just came out of nowhere. You have Malphite, unstoppable forcing from the fog, just destroying and popping them up. You have Rek'Sai just got there. I mean, wasn't really needed.
Honestly,
and then Sion teleporting.
A lot of the damage there was from Orianna and her shockwaves.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty good setup coming in from there.
Hit them right there in the tower too. And it was very nice. And then the pop-ups and all that and all from Malphite really secured it. So that was very nice. Good roam by Haman on Malphite, which is what they need to do. Roam, TP, gank. They have a lot of mobility, and I didn't even think about that. A lot of mobility, especially with TP and Rek'Sai ult. They're gonna probably take bottom. Oh,
and Sivers on the hunt, of course.
Of course. Can't forget that. She's not gonna tank. I thought bouncing or boomerangs would actually not boomerangs.
It's a fantastic farming tool. Looks like Sivir is going to continue to push this lane up. Graves is almost about back in lane, but they might just be able to take this before he does come back.
Oh wow! That confused me.
That was a very interesting headbutt right there from Alistar. Did manage to push Malphite away before he could take out that ward. But that confused me.
That confused me because I thought it was Malphite ulting in.
No.
That's why I was like, whoa.
Confused me as well.
Yeah.
They're both blue. Yeah. It's a trick.
So Nocturne and Rek'Sai are here. Rek'Sai does see Nocturne do his passive in his barrel.
He does have Paranoia up too. The unstoppable onslaught is going to come down from Sion, and it did manage to clip both of them. Rek'Sai is not going to be able to unburrow on top of Cassiopeia here, and Nocturne is Nocturne got absolutely destroyed by Sion there with the Soul Furnace and the E-Proc onto him. Cassiopeia is not going to be able to take down Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai just barely managed to level up right there, got a little bit of the health that she needed to outlive all that DPS. Meanwhile, the Pulverize is going to come down. He's going to go ahead and head one of them back. Malphite is not quite dead yet. The beautiful unstoppable force is going to kill Alistar, and Humanduz is going to walk back. Yeah. He's going to take that kill.
Should I escape or should I get a kill?
You know what? Very much worth it.
Yeah,
honestly.
But that was a very nice flash from Alistar to put Sivir farther. They got the Sivir kill, which is very good.
I'm still very surprised at that top lane exchange.
What's it called? Rek'Sai did juke Cassiopeia's Noxious Blast hard because he came out of the bush and Cassiopeia was like, I got this, and went into the bush. And she was just relying on auto attacks because the Twin Fangs hit before he was poisoned.
Good mechanics.
Yes,
very good mechanics. Way to juke out of it. It got them a double kill, got them a lead. It very much so looked like Cassiopeia and Nocturne, be it Travipu and Esquire, were very much in sync for that particular fight, and then they just got counter-initiated on.
It took too long though. Double Cassiopeia Petrifying Glaze. It hit both of them, which I can't believe it.
I thought that was it.
And they didn't go in. I literally sat there and was able to see them, and then they unfroze, and I was like, oh, it did hit both. Like, no one went in. Nocturne should have gone in. I don't know if he had Paranoia up. He has it now. But if he had it up, should have definitely casted it. It hit both. They were winning even still when they waited, but it just took too long. They definitely should have gone in quicker on Petrifying Gaze. Sorry.
And it looks like at this point, Evilini's is about a 6K gold lead over and three towers over nothing. So they're accruing the objectives here. They do also have a dragon as well under their disposal, and so they're looking to make plays right here in we so good looking zone jungle. Because Alistar here is not going to get hit by the unstoppable force. The teleport is going to come down here from we so good looking. Cassiopeia does come down. The Paranoia is going to come down here onto Orianna. Orianna is going to flash right out of it. He's going to headbutt and pulverize right in. The shockwave is going to come down. The Spirit Rush is going to come down and clip a bunch of members of Evilini's, and Evilini's got counter-initiated on over here.
Yeah,
they got absolutely decimated. And you know what? That is a tribute to.
Got the
kill off of the Roar of the Slayer. Not bad. That did help Sion's case right there. Unfortunately, what really swung this favor over in We So Good Looking's favor was that, Sion completely whiffed the unstoppable onslaught. Yes. That was one knock-up ult that was not at their disposal to use in that situation.
I would like to see a little bit better team fights, though. If you saw, it was Paranoia, flash out, Alistar, headbutt in, get out, and then it was just going in and out, in and out.
It didn't look like there was very good communication between the teams. It just looked like We So Good Looking ended up getting a good pick out of it, and they weren't low when the fight started. They were pretty healthy besides Alistar, who besides the headbutt pulverize was in and out.
Yeah, and so it was kind of like, wait, Oh, he's going in. I gotta go in. Oh, he's out. I gotta get out. Oh, wait. I gotta go back in now. You know, it's like it was very lacking communication, and they have communication. They should definitely use it more. But yeah, like you said, the onslaught style was missed, and if that maybe hit, that would have been a pick for them, and it may have not been a fight, and then probably would have been a tower siege. But something to consider, you have 4-1 on Evilini's for both Malphite and Scion, so their tanks are gonna get tanky quick, but they're not gonna get so much damage. They do have a 3-2 Rek'Sai, they have a 2-2 Ori, but an 0-2 Sivir. So they're not going to get their damage. They're going to get their tanks and their CC really quickly. So that might bite them in the butt without having as much damage.
And Evil Leanies will go ahead and prep for this dragon that is coming up right now. They have warded about and to make sure that We So Good Looking does not have any vision of it at all. I don't know if We So Good Looking are going to be able to contest this very well.
You almost got
the collateral damage was very close to stealing that dragon right there, but Evil Lean will go ahead and secure that dragon for his team. That's 2 dragons to none in favor of Evil Leanies. Yeah. They're gonna keep that. They're gonna stay at a 5K gold lead, and you know, honestly, not too bad a play right there. I'm very surprised We So Good Looking didn't contest it you know, a little bit more heavily.
They could have.
They could have. They could where they were with the petrifying gaze up, with the paranoia up. Actually, paranoia was not up at the time. That is probably why they didn't go in.
Probably, yeah. Makes sense. But it looks like they're going to have
the charm is going to come down, and 2-man dude is going to take a little bit.
That's what Ari needs to do. That's what Ari's good for. Stand behind a wall, charm over the section, walk away. You know, that's probably why they took away the 20% damage on the charm.
That was a lot.
Just because that's a huge poke.
It was a lot. It was a lot. It's
still a big poke, but I mean, it's not devastating. So they're gonna go back. They're gonna probably come back to farming. Looks because especially Sivir needs to farm. She is good on farm right now, but no kills. Graves is 3-1-3, so he has kills, and that makes up for most of the farm deficit he's at. But Sivir needs these kills, not Malphite, not Scion. They'll get tanky regardless. Sivir needs to do damage, and to do that, she needs items. And if you look on the other team, they have damage regardless because they have a top laner that's just meant to build damage and gets a little bit tanky, of course, with the Roa and maybe the Leandres. But then you have the 3-1 Graves who's getting items. There's a 2-3 Cassiopeia who's getting some items. She does have the completed Roa and is stacking a tier pretty well. The one thing that's lacking behind is the 1-3 and the 2-4 on both Nocturne and Ari, respectively.
Now take a look at this. Despite Graves having the kill advantage over Sivir, Sivir has about 50 more farm than he does.
Yes.
Still has an item advantage over him. And still doing roughly the same amount of damage, minus the fact that Graves has a little bit more burst with the collateral damage. But again, Sivir is a support role. She's providing a support role for her team in the ability to initiate and also put out a bit of damage.
Yes, that's
whereas
true.
Graves is strictly just the damage in this,
that is
in this
true.
regard.
He needs that damage too. But I don't think Graves is back yet. So maybe that's why Sivir could be up there. I'm not paying attention. I can press X, obviously, and we'll let you know. He does have 900 gold, so no, it still has the item advantage. Can't complete a Zeal.
Interesting situation there coming out of Evil Leanies. They thought they were in a position where they were completely in the fog of ward. There was a ward up there. If they had cleared that ward, it would have been a good potential pick area for them had any members of We So Good Looking crossed that little inlet there.
Back to a siege in mid lane. With the wave clear, WSGL has. I'm not sure they're gonna get anywhere near that tower.
Probably not.
They can't get any. As long as WSGL groups like this, they're not gonna get near any tier 2 towers. They need to find a pick somehow. Maybe get a monster wave going in bot lane, push mid, and when that starts pushing, bait it downwards so that they can catch them in the jungle or something like that. But just a normal siege, they might not get too far. You have Cassiopeia, you have Nocturne, you have Ari, you have Graves. You're not gonna get past that. Alice is the only one that can't really wave clear.
I mean, they do have Roar of the Slayer and Boomerang Blade pushing, that can push very well for them, but it is just going to be mostly at a stalemate. Oh, and they do, of course, have Oriana Ball as well, yeah. Command attack, and command dissonance to clear up this wave. But it is just going to be a back and forth between the two as waves push. And as soon as one wave pushes harder than another, I think they'll be forced to act.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing they got going for them in a 5v5 siege like this is placing ball and for Oriana and hoping that WSGL forgets about it and getting a shockwave on 3 good targets and even tower diving, because Scion and Malphite are ahead enough that a tower dive would not be the worst option, especially if they get a good shockwave on them. So that would be their only hope, because they don't have the charm. They don't have the fear. They don't have a headbutt single target combo. They have the Malphite ult, which could work too. But so their only option if they're 5v5 sieging is to just hard engage. If they don't do that, you're not getting anywhere. You're just basically giving them fodder. You're giving time for WSGL to make sure that they can gap the 7K gold lead, which is quite a lot at this point. But it's not enough, to be honest. 13-8 means that they're only down towers.
This is a very close game.
Yeah.
I mean, gold aside, We So Good Looking managed to bring it back with that pick they had here in this lower jungle fight near their bottom inner tower or bottom outer tower. They managed to bring it back in, within a reasonable amount of gold and kills. So right now they're at a bit of a stalemate, but since they're still at a 7K deficit, Evilini's playing at this pace they're just going to continue to extend their advantage via farming. The stall is not going to do it for them. Yes, exactly. A lot of these champions, even Sion specifically, who just farms and gets bigger via his Soul Furnace passive, he's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. Malphite himself, though, the more gold he accumulates through destroying wards and through his passive item, his gold generating items, he's just going to get tankier and tankier.
And Cassiopeia, almost 700 stacks on tier. She is the main component of this team because she's the only real AoE lockdown. That's going to be necessary.
Yes.
You lock down 5 people, that does, a good 500-600 damage and chunks them in half. You have collateral damage that can kill 1 or 2 of them just right there on top of the buckshot combo. So she is absolutely key in any team fight that WSGL wants to do, aside from getting a pick and then re-engaging.
It's kind of funny. Besides Cassiopeia here, who's more of a DPS mage, there's just so much burst on both teams that it just seems like one pick. Yes. One good initiate on 2 or 3 members is just going to seal the deal in a fight.
Yes.
In a full out fight. Cassiopeia being the one difference because of the sheer amounts of DPS. Meanwhile, speaking of Cassiopeia, she's going to go ahead and get engaged here with the command Shockwave. They're going to go ahead and hop over the wall. They're going to get the dragon, and they're going to go ahead and initiate on We So Good Looking. Paranoia going to come out of Nocturne. He uses it to go ahead and escape. Graves going to go ahead and flash out, but it doesn't look like Alistar is going to be able to go out of here. He does pop the unstoppable will, and he's going to go ahead and back off. He's going to throw out the headbutt pulverize. He might be able to get this kill onto Humandu. No, Humandu will go ahead and flash right out of there, and Sion is going to go ahead and try and get this kill. He is taking tower for a while. Rek'Sai is going to go ahead and get that kill. Ari is getting jumped on by 2 members of Evilini's, and she's just going to go ahead and back off. The red buff proccing out of off of the.
The barrier comes out.
When does that come off?
It comes off Sivir.
She was being slowed. What was she being slowed by?
Sivir red buff.
Oh god. Okay, the collateral damage just comes down from Graves. Absolutely destroys Orianna. Orianna will go down for it. A teleport coming off here for Cassiopeia. Unfortunately, she teleports onto a ward that would have been absolutely devastating. She's going to throw the Noxious Blast, but she misses. She needed it to be able to reset for her twin fangs. She's not going to be able to land it, but Graves is going to throw out the buckshot. Rek'Sai is gonna just burrow right out of there, and honestly, very, very good engaged by Evilini's here. They were able to get the dragon and secure a couple of kills under their belt too.
But what was one thing that I was kind of iffy about is if you saw, it was Unstoppable Force, Flash Rek'Sai pop up, Flash Sion, sorry, and what's it called? Command Shockwave. And it hit all 3 onto Cassiopeia, and then because she got out pretty quickly, Sivir had to do On the Hunt and Unstoppable Onslaught came through. 5 ults burned just for the Cassiopeia kill. I mean, they got it and they got out, which was great. But had this been in the open, where Cassiopeia wasn't caught out alone, which I don't know why she was alone, that would have been a really bad team fight for them.
I believe she was warding over the wall to over there, Dragon. She threw a Noxious Blast. She threw a Noxious Blast over. They saw the Noxious Blast. They went in immediately. By the way, Evilini is going to go ahead and take this last outer middle turret. I don't believe they were in position for that. The Wombo combo, Unstoppable Force into Shockwave, is going to go ahead and tear a new one into We So Good Looking. Alistar is going to try and tank as much as possible here. The inner middle tower just raining down onto members of Evilini's, but it is not doing a significant amount of damage. They're going to go ahead and just take this middle inner tower and look to take this middle inhibitor.
And
We So Good Looking just forced to go back.
Yes, all you need is that. Like I said, if you're not gonna push a wave and bait it into the jungle, you're going all in, and it paid off. They got 2 towers and the inhib, and now it's rinse and repeat to try to go in bot and top, or let mid lane push and push with it bot. One of them's gonna have to go back and answer. And it can't be Alistar, so they have to get rid of a wave clear.
Honestly, that decisiveness, that decision to just, hey, let's go in, let's do the wombo combo right here and there. No hesitation whatsoever. Netted than that double kill, got them a tower and got them an inhibitor. A huge amount of goal, huge amount of objectives. Put them about almost 10k gold in the lead now.
I mean, I question how much they burned on it.
But you can't argue with those results.
But I mean, if you're winning, you're doing something
You're doing something right.
And I'm probably the one that's wrong. I don't like to think I'm wrong.
No, okay. I don't think so either.
So they're doing really well, and it is actually paying off to have those tanks very far ahead, because I guess they're peeling really well. Yeah. And you have Rek'Sai, who is very balanced in damage and tankiness right now. He's got the damage jungle item, he's got the Tiamat for pure damage, and just awesome sustained damage as well. Then he's got the Sunfire for a little bit more damage and a lot of tankiness, and he's got the Hex Drinker for more damage and some magic resistance plus his shield. So he's balancing out right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if you just go frozen out at last item.
Now, what do you think? What do you think We So Good Looking can do to get back into this game?
To get back into this game, they need to group as 5, wave clear like crazy, and stall this out as hard as they can. That is it. They are 1 in 5 Nocturne and 2 in 5 Ahri are too far behind. They need a wave clear and try to let those 2 farm and get some items. Because if you look, the only completed item Nocturne has is just the damage jungle item. He's trying to build a Randuin's, can't. Ahri does have the Morella and Death Cap, but he needs a Zonia. That should be doing work.
But I mean, this is something they can't do here. They are getting pressured here so heavily here in middle lane that it looks like they're just going to go ahead and forfeit that last top outer turret.
That's not what you defend.
I mean, this is not a turret you want to defend anyways. Evil Leanies were creeping around the side. It wasn't going to be a good fight for them. They could have potentially got an ace and just lost the game altogether. Give something up to get something in return later, you know?
Ooh, and on top of
it's going to come down. The wombo combo shockwave will come down. They're going to go ahead and, that was like 2 or 3 knockups all in a row. They're going to go ahead and take down 3 members of We So Good Looking. Ahri is doing her very best to flash out of there. She uses her flash plus her 3 other flashes in her Spirit Rush to get out of there. And Graves is going to be the only one here trying to really defend. So Ahri going to go ahead and had a very good charm there.
We're going to get the second one.
Is going to go very hard to Orianna. He goes ahead and he does get that double kill. He's forcing the remaining members of Evil Leanies to go ahead and head back. They don't even get that top tower.
No,
and honestly, that was because they pressed the issue there. They could have easily just gotten the tower, but they went into poke and really pressed the advantage, and they got, they ate it. They ate it for it. Honestly, they paid. They paid the price.
That was very impressive on that team fight, because if you saw, Malphite Unstoppable Force in, knocked up 2-3 members, and then got pushed out. But Shockwave still hit where Alistar was, because she either command protected inward and then command attacked and then ulted, which would be incredible speed, or she realized Alistar has that headbutt and just command attacked and had it right there. And that was very smart, because she didn't leave it on Malphite, because if she did, no one would have got on that ult, and there would have been a sombrero for Malphite.
They can't now they can't afford to group like that for these continuing fights. They also can't afford to give up these dragons to Evil Leanies so easily. This is going to be their 4th dragon now. They are 1 dragon away from that true damage and those awe-inspiring buffs that usually end games all on their own. They haven't even gone after Baron. This has been a largely Baronless game 30 minutes in.
As you speak, I think they're grouping for Baron.
And as I speak, here they are going straight to Baron, warding it up. Whether they bait it, whether they start it, it's going to be entirely up to We So Good Looking to respond to this. They're so far out, it looks like they're just going to go ahead and give them this Baron.
Where are the wards? You have 1 pink ward. That's it.
That's not enough.
All blue has.
That's not enough.
Look at red. You have 3 on dragon. One of them's a pink. You have about 4 near Baron. This was secure.
That is not enough.
There's no vision.
Nope.
There's another pink ward, I guess, past dragon. I didn't see that one at first, but that's still nothing.
They did have that ward up there, and with that ward, if they did see, they would have noticed that they did have Baron buff in. So We So Good Looking are just going to have to defend as best they can here. Wait out the Baron buff, potentially. See what they can do after that. make sure they don't group into the super duper wombo combo.
And they're gonna push for tower.
And they're going to push for this tower here, and I really don't think they can contest this.
No.
They're probably going to have to give this up, and they're most likely going to have to give up this inhibitor as well. That's the top inhibitor down there. The middle inhibitor is up. They do go ahead and throw down some CC. The paranoia is coming out, but is it going on anyone? No, it just scares them off.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Evilini's is far enough ahead that they don't have to fear an all-in engage, like, and question it. They're just like, we're gonna push, and if you want to tempt us, we're going all in. We're gonna beat you, and that's what they're saying right now. And so there's no fear. Oh my God! Enough damage
is gonna be coming down, and Evilini is gonna go ahead and engage on them. The knockups are gonna come out of nowhere. Ari is trying to spare rush around them, trying to put a bunch of damage onto Evilini, but it doesn't look like it's enough. Finally going to flash out. He's going to get pulverized back. Cassiopeia needs to get out of here. She does die. She gets hit by an auto attack by Sivir, and despite Evilini's being so low here, Graves is going ham on them. He does throw the Q, but the spell shield soaks up the buckshot, and Sivir takes the quadra kill onto We So Good Looking, and they're going to go ahead, take this other middle inhibitor. Sion doesn't end up dying either. That's a 3 for 4.
And what unfortunate to say, that was such a good start to that fight for WSGL.
It was the best fight.
And she got out though. They got the pick and got out, and then they just didn't have any more follow-up. It was all Cassiopeia by herself and no follow-up. Had they had a better follow-up and better, a better fight process, definitely would have gone better. And had that special not come down, Graves would be sitting at a probably pretty triple kill. You know. It's just a better play. It's a better play from Evilini's on that fight, and a lacking communication from WSGL. I mean, we've been hearing them the last 2 games. They've been screaming at each other, trying to hype each other out, and trying to get motivated. And I'm not hearing it as much anymore. So maybe it's hitting them a little bit.
I think it really is starting to hit them. I mean, as much as they've been pouring into these team fights, and they've had, like you said, been having very good, disengages and turnarounds, but it just hasn't been enough. The sheer tankiness coming out of Team Leanies, combined with their sheer amounts of CC, has just been obliterating them. Cassiopeia being the one real bright spot for them in these fights. Nocturne in that fight didn't even have the paranoia up, so he didn't have the ability to take away their vision. Take away their vision ranges and surprise them. That surprise factor was really all we So Good Looking had going for them in this regard. And besides the headbutt pulverize, I don't know what else they can do in these fights to help them. They can't group up. They can't be near each other. And the unstoppable force will come down. The paranoia is going to go ahead and come down on Sivir. Sivir is going to put down a bunch of damage on them. The shockwave hits 2. That's going to be 1 down, 2 down. They're going to go ahead and back up. The petrifying gaze does come down from Cassiopeia. It doesn't matter. She goes down anyways. Graves is going to go ahead and buckshot back. Oh, God, and so much damage coming from Sion. Sion is peeling so hard for his team. Graves has no choice but to back off. Cassiopeia is going to go ahead and go down to Rek'Sai. Ari is just going to have to back off her. She really can't do much in this regard. She's going to have to try and protect her bases as well as possible. Ari is at full health, but she's going to Rek'Sai is going to dodge that charm, and she's going to unburrow right on top of Ari. The red combined with the Queen's Wrap and the Prey Seeker is going to take her down. Rek'Sai is going to get the ace, and this looks like it might be the game.
I don't know. Nocturne is up in 1. Alistar's up in 2.
They're at the very least going to take both of these Nexus towers right here. They take 1. And the Unburrow is going to come down onto Nocturne. Is Rek'Sai going to be able to slow her? She has almost 100% chance. But no, the headbutt back prevents him from getting the kill onto Sion. And Rek'Sai is going to absolutely destroy Alistar. 1 more auto attack, not going to be enough. The exhaust does come down onto her.
Oh my God,
the next one about to go down. Is this going to be the game for Evilini's? It is, and Evilini's will take this game.
That was amazing. Wow, just them 2. Very smart to take.